All right, Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. And I love its color on this bike. And I like the fender color too. The seat feels a little weird, I'll say that. My bike don't have a key. Got a key?
No key? You're gonna need that.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, this paint's gorgeous on this bike though. Actually, this bike feels pretty light. I wonder if it's got fuel in it. Clutch pulls on the heavier side. It's not bad. These levers are kind of fat. But you see the switch gear is actually metal on this, which is pretty cool. Oh, let's see. Yeah.
Your turn signals are on your left hand, left and right.
Okay. There we go. Looks like it's got fuel. Feels light though. The weight on this bike is so low, it feels light, actually. Yeah, the motor's really smooth on when you rev it. I mean, it's a beautiful bike. This is a really pretty bike. I'm as far as the way it looks, I love the way this bike looks. You got interesting what do you call it? These grips, unique Royal Enfield. Pretty cool. I mean, simple gauges. I don't really know how you go through it, but okay. Yeah. I mean, pretty simple. Ain't nothing. I like the way the horn sounds, actually. Oh, yeah, this clutch grabs way out, actually. Way out. Smooth though, actually. When you turn the turn signal on this though, it just kind of flashes the whole thing like they're both on. I mean, it's not a big deal. I like that the lights are actually really visible though, so you really can see that you can easily, even during the day, see that the turn signal indicator's on. I mean, the clutch is medium light. It's a little heavy. I'd say it's not light, it's medium going on heavy. Oh yeah, actually this bike's really smooth. Oh wow. Because you got to think about the price point of these bikes. These bikes are like $6-7 grand, you know, very, very cheap. And actually initially I'm really impressed with the way it feels. The quality is what I see, actually, and for this price, that's kind of unheard of with a lot of things. There's a little vibe or buzz, but it's not. It's more of a character buzz in this Interceptor than a annoying buzz. It's not the one that sucks. And actually, let's say this bike turns in so easy. Yeah, smooth, man. Yeah. I mean, the power's not overwhelming or nothing. It's not fast on this bike, but it's enough though. Like, you can ride and have a good time on this. I feel like this is still enough power to have a lot of fun. Oh yeah, it's so light and I'm kind of surprised how light this bike feels, actually. I thought it would feel a lot heavier than what it does, this Interceptor. The weight must just be unbelievably low. It feels so light to me that I thought it might not have had any fuel in it because of how good it feels, actually. I mean, the stock exhaust actually is not off. It's not loud by any means, but it's got a good tone. If you put an aftermarket exhaust on this bike, it would sound really good, I think. And this bike is not a V-twin, even though it has a little bit of that character, I guess, in the sound of a V-twin. Not exactly, but still pretty good sounding. And actually, this bike, it actually makes me think of the Triumph, like the Bonneville, but I feel like this feels a lot lighter than the Bonneville. It's not as much power, not even close, but like quality-wise, I'd actually this would be very tempting to buy over the Bonneville just because of the price. And it is still, I would own one of these, absolutely. The style's fantastic on this bike. The biggest difference, the Bonnevilles are a little smoother, but this bike's not bad though. The clutch and brake levers are fatter and heavier, the pull on them, than on the Bonnevilles on the Interceptor here. And it's not, that would be one of the bigger differences I noticed, because actually these gauges, I can read these easier than I could the ones on the Triumph T100 and T120 Bonnevilles. Even though the ones on the Bonneville might look better, these functionally are better, and I feel like they're tilted back at a better angle. But the throttling is really smooth, because I was letting it drop down the low revs and it feels fine. Wasn't bucking or getting mad at me. Yeah, man, this bike is just so light. It definitely feels like it should cost a lot more, actually. And I'm, you know, tip of the hat to Royal Enfield for offering this kind of bike at this price, and I hope they keep doing it, because this is awesome, man. You can, I don't know, you can feel and see the passion in this bike. I'm actually really impressed. When I compared this bike to the new Moto Guzzi V7, I think the V7, it obviously has more character, you know, off the top of my head, a little more mechanical feeling. This kind of bridges the gap between a T100 or T120 Bonneville and a V7 on character. It's got more character than the Bonnevilles, but it's not as smooth as them because of that, I think. But then the V7 has the most character, but it's still not like intrusive on a Moto Guzzi V7. I mean, this motor's got spirit. You know, it's not, like I said, it's not fast or anything. But no gear indicator, so, you know. But it has good torque to where you could probably pull through decently, or it has the right amount of torque to pull you through a turn probably, even if you're hanging a little low or in a higher gear than you should be, hanging it low in the revs. I mean, I'm actually really impressed with this bike. And it's smooth on the downshift. I mean, handles good, I feel like. Brakes are decent, yeah. I mean, I'd say if anything, it'd be more of these tires that I would not have as much confidence in. The bike though, I feel like the bike feels fine cornering, feels stable and good and willing to tip in and really easy. I don't know if it's 5 gear, 6 gear. I think I'm in 6 gear, going, what, 55, 60, between 3,000 and 4,000 revs, getting up close to 4. And this bike is just really, like, it's actually, I guess it's got a slipper clutch, I'm guessing, based on how smooth it is on downshifting. Yeah, the gearbox on this is short throw and a prominent click into gear, so you're not guessing whether you actually got into gear or not. It. Oh, that vehicle turning out in front of them. I got a little bit of a bend in my knees. This is, I don't know, I feel like this is just a standard, I mean, just riding position. It's fine. Oh, Man, I thought that semi was hitting that vehicle, but they backed up. Huh? I thought they was gonna hit him. Oh gosh.
Well, so I was like, I know exactly what that guy was doing.
Yeah. I really like this bike. I would definitely consider owning one. I mean, so far the seat's really firm. It feels a little weird, but I'm not uncomfortable yet. I mean, this is a short ride, so I'm not really going to get to test out how comfortable this bike is on a good ride. So comfort is to be determined. The position's fine. The riding position's really fine. I could ride in this position for probably all day, no problem. The suspension is firm, but it's not punishing. I don't, you know, I'm not. I can feel the bumps, but they're not. It's not harsh. It's not overly harsh, anyways, I guess you could say. And these roads ain't that great, really. I mean, this bike does not feel cheap. That's what I'm actually really surprised. I guess maybe I had low expectations, but dang, I'm impressed. I guess the biggest thing maybe keeping the price down on this bike could be it is a little less power. But man, it's still more than enough. It feels this is a fun little bike, and I love it, the way it sounds and looks. And we're pulling back in here. It's easy to get in neutral. I like it. It's got a nice little kickstand thing here, easy to find. There she is. That's a good little bike. I love it. Nice bike. I'm impressed.